This is Kyle McFarland. Welcome back to Vette View. In this episode, we will be looking at a 1966 Corvette Coupe. With a 390 horsepower big block for 27 cubic inch engine, auction code L36. It was recently up for auction on eBay and was bid up to $65,100, but the reserve price was not met. There is a buy it now price of $99,950. From the description, it states the following. This 1966 Chevrolet Corvette Coupe has had an amazing restoration, including the rally red paint, which is Co. 974. Under the correct bulging big block coupe is a matching numbers for 127 cubic inch 390 horsepower L36 engine with code IL. The engine is topped off with a factory Holley 4-barrel carburetor. Behind the L36 engine is a 4-speed manual transmission. A long list of new items includes the side exhaust and a new gas tank. The interior is spotless and new, red leather, code number 408. Additional options on this Corvette include a power antenna, AM/FM radio, and knockoff aluminum wheels with Goodyear tires. The exterior and interior paint on this Stingray should be considered a 9 out of 10. Mileage for this 1966 Vette is only 95,910 miles. Now, over to George Spankle for his commentary on originality.
Okay, Kyle, first, we have the incorrect shifter. This looks like a Hurst aftermarket shifter. It should have the original reverse lockout type with a T-handle. Under the hood, it's missing spark plug shielding and the alternator bracket is painted orange instead of black like this one.
George, are those tail lights correct?
No, they are not. The inboard tail lights should be clear, as shown in this picture.
Now George, isn't there a problem with the 5300 red line tachometer?
Well, Kyle, no, because it is consensus thought that most 1966 L36 Corvettes had the 5300 red line tachometer and an 80 psi oil pressure gauge.
Oh really?
Yes, Kyle, I've seen many L36 Corvettes from 1966 with the 5300 redline tachometer. I've also seen some with a 6000 redline, but they may not have been original. Many have said that this particular low RPM tachometer was only used in the early part of the 1966 production run for L36 for Vettes, but this car would prove that wrong, since it is a very late production car as shown by the serial plate. But the biggest issue with this Corvette is the serial plate. It seems to have a considerable amount of surface rust underneath it. However, there's absolutely no rust on the serial plate, or even in the center of the rivets, which is common when there is rust on the crossbar.
Okay George, then how does the trim plate look?
It is a match to the serial plate with a build code of K13, which is June 13th. This is a late production car, which matches the 26,239 serial number, as there were 27,720 Corvettes produced in 1966. Production ended in July of that year. The trim plate shows some signs of age, while the serial plate is in pristine condition. This indicates it may not be original to this Corvette. Underneath the car, we see it's been painted black. Obviously, this is incorrect, as the fiberglass should be unpainted, and there appears to be a large dent in the crossmember. Damage to the crossmember indicates this Corvette may have been involved in an accident where there was extensive undercarriage damage. This would explain why so many of the parts have been replaced underneath, as we can see here.
Now let's check the parts rack with Jamie Colavito.
Thanks, Kyle. For this 1966 Corvette, an original T-handle reverse lockout shifter is necessary to complete the restoration. Up next are the 1966 clear inboard tail lenses. If you want your 66 Corvette for 27 engine to be complete, then you will need this set of big block spark plug shields. I've included links in the description below for all the parts which I have shown. By clicking on the links, you can go directly to a reputable Corvette parts distributor. Now, back to you, Kyle.
Thanks, Jamie. George and I will now discuss our thoughts regarding this 1966 L36 Corvette. So George, what are your thoughts on this 67 L79?
I think this is a very nicely built 1966 L36 Corvette, very likely to someone's specifications. It's got almost everything done correctly. However, it appears to be a built car. There is no mention of any paperwork or gas tank build sheet.
So George, what about the value for this particular 66 L36 Corvette?
Well, I would say this is not going to be a six-figure car at this time. The bidding on this Corvette clearly indicates this by falling far short of the asking price. I could see it definitely selling for the high bid of $65,000.
George, don't you think that's a little light?
Well, I think we need to be a bit conservative here. As you know, we're looking at a car that has had nearly everything replaced, so this is not a top-flight survivor type car, and it's not going to bring that kind of money. Now, maybe on a good day, it could bring a bit more than $65,000.
So, you don't think this Corvette is an original survivor car?
No, I don't, Kyle. There are just too many replaced parts on it for that to be the case, and there's no paperwork with this car. I reckon this Corvette is definitely a built car, but not by General Motors in the 60s.
Well, there you have it. Please subscribe to our channel for more analysis of Corvettes for sale. If you would like a Corvette featured on VetteView, send us an email at vetteview@yahoo.com. Please include your description and some pictures. If you have video, include the link to where we can find your Corvette. Special thanks to George Spenkel and Jamie Colavito for their contribution to this video. Once again, this is Kyle McFarland for VetteView. Hope to see you next time.